Visas now revoked at UC San Diego has jumped to the dozens. Why a violation as minor as a parking ticket could lead to this.
Is this a big deal?
This is transformational.
Plus, how a first-of-its-kind weight loss pill could change how we treat obesity. And San Diego County's first cannabis lounge opening to the public today. We're going to get a sneak peek inside.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here on this Friday. I know a lot of people are excited. It's 6 a.m., and I'm Chris Groh in for Eric Connor.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Yeah, thank you for being with us. We were wondering if the rain is going to get in the way of, kids at recess and lunch. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Durrani this morning. I saw it was a little wet outside, Evan.
Yeah, we had some sprinkles overnight, some light rain is what we picked up on for the most part, but things have generally been very light on us over the last 24 hours. We picked up on a few hundredths of an inch. We're hoping for up to a tenth in some cases. We might get that tenth of an inch over the course of the day today. However, it does seem like over the course of the day, it will be light as well. So instead, what we can largely depend on is a good amount of cloud cover, cooler temperatures, and at times some gusty winds, especially out toward the deserts. 63 out along the coast this afternoon, 62 inland. We'll take a quick look at that satellite radar and you can see how light things have been. May even be a beautiful sunrise depending on where you're at if you have a break in those clouds. Coming up, we'll talk more about the weekend forecast that looks warm and dry as all this wet weather clears out. Chris?
All right, thank you, Evan. The military has identified the 2 Camp Pendleton Marines who were killed in a rollover crash in New Mexico on Tuesday. The 1st Marine Division says 22-year-old Lance Corporal Albert Aguilera of Riverside and 28-year-old Lance Corporal Marcelino Gamino of Fresno died while on duty. They were not in a military vehicle, but were driving to El Paso as part of a reconnaissance mission tied to President Trump's expanded mission at the southern border. A 3rd Marine is still in the hospital in critical condition. The crash is still under investigation. And UC San Diego says 35 of its international students have had their visas revoked, with 1 other student being deported. The university says it wasn't notified of the terminations, leaving students in the dark. All over the country, the AP reports more than 1,000 student visas have been revoked since March, some for criminal violations as small as parking or speeding tickets, others for participating in student protests over the war in Gaza, as we saw last year at UCSD. The Trump administration's actions have sparked protests, including here in San Diego, but an immigration attorney we spoke with advises international students to not participate in protests because any arrest could trigger a visa revocation.
It doesn't matter if the city attorney chose whether or not to pursue charges. That arrest alone can trigger a revocation of a student visa.
Now, that same attorney you just heard from said students can challenge the revocations administratively through the State Department. And President Trump's effort to end birthright citizenship is still on hold. The Supreme Court declined to let him enforce the policy for now. But the justices will hear arguments next month on whether to limit the power of lower court rulings, a decision that could affect this case. Trump has pushed to end birthright citizenship since returning to office. The longstanding policy grants U.S. citizenship to anyone born in the country, regardless of their parents' legal status.
This morning, many South Bay residents turning to the courts to try to battle the ongoing sewage crisis that has been plaguing their community. A lawsuit now targeting the operator of the local wastewater treatment plant, claiming it has illegally discharged more than 1 billion gallons of raw sewage, harming residents' health and damaging their property. So far, more than 1,000 South Bay residents have signed on to this lawsuit, which is now seeking significant monetary damages for the community.
Time to stop the stink. It's time to compensate people who have been damaged by it, either through property damage or through their health. And it's time to fix it once and for all.
The operator of the plant there in San Ysidro, Veolia, tells CBS 8 that it has done a, quote, excellent job helping to operate it. It also says that both the U.S. and Mexican governments have failed to fund solutions for this continuing sewage crisis, and that this crisis is caused by unprecedented, uncontrolled flows of sewage and debris from Tijuana. Meanwhile, that flooding and pollution from the Tijuana River has blocked off access to Borderfield State Park, but that could soon change. There's now a plan to reroute Monument Road.
This after Friends of Friendship Park delivered a letter to the state's Department of Parks and Recreation urging to expedite the road's realignment. The group emphasized the road's importance for visitors to Monument Mesa, a path to Friendship Park, which once served as a meeting spot for people separated by the border.
This is a significant green space that people in the South Bay are not having access to because of the flooding, and this could easily be resolved by prioritizing those funds and saying, let's get the road built.
Construction is expected to begin June 2026 and possibly finishing by 2027.
And now, San Diego County's first cannabis lounge opening in National City today.
Yeah, Sessions by the Bay will host a grand opening celebration all weekend. CBS 8's Regina Yarita is there live with what makes this business unique. And Regina, a lot of people have got some questions and their curiosity has been sparked here by something like this in National City.
It's definitely been sparked a lot of interest here in National City and in the county because it's the first one. I remember covering this when it was just an idea. It was about 3 years ago, and now seeing this and now of what it is, right? The first consumption lounge. I actually want to bring in the owner, Alex, who I talked to you about 3 years ago when you were still trying to obtain permits, which was a pretty difficult and challenging process for you and your wife. But now walk me through just seeing this now become really what you wanted.
Yeah, we're super excited. A lot of work, so it's, of course, a great feeling to finally get open. I think we really created a beautiful space that came from the heart in terms of design, and we feel something that the community really will enjoy and that they deserve.
So walk me through where we're at right now. I know this is the retail part of your business.
Yeah, this is our retail dispensary, which is very common. A lot of people have been to dispensaries. This is where you would come. You can find thousands of products here. We have a huge selection. You can take these products home and consume there, or at our facility, what's unique is you could take these products upstairs and consume them in our venue on the second floor.
And Alex, you're familiar with this business. I know that you've had other businesses here in San Diego, but this is the first consumption lounge here in National City and in the county. How do you feel about that? You know, you being able to actually make this into reality.
It's an honor, really. You know, we've always had a vision and a dream to kind of have a space like this. So we feel very fortunate to be the ones that were awarded the license and trusted with this responsibility. I think we did a great job with it. We had a big team that was involved. So, yeah, we're, you know, overall super stoked about it.
Now, obviously, when we talk about marijuana, it's always some controversy behind it. Did you have sort of a pushback, you know, from residents here in National City? What's sort of been the support or really the environment in here?
There's always a little bit of that, but it honestly, with this process, it was overwhelmingly supportive, both from the city, the local community, police, fire, all the agencies that regulate this type of thing. I think the community was ready for it. I think we're at a time and place where this is much more accepted at this point, and there's a lot of consequences to not having places where you can safely consume. So this is a much needed asset for a community, and for that reason, we've felt nothing but love.
All right. Well, Alex, thank you. We're very excited. Obviously, the community is also excited to see really that lounge. We're going to have that in the next half hour. We wanted to show you the dispensary, and if you stick around, you'll see what a consumption lounge is all about. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, interesting to see all of that and get an inside look here.
And that design in there,
Yeah.
they did a great job.
Very aesthetic
Yeah,
as
it's
you look
beautiful.
inside. So
Vibe.
a lot of people wonder whether or not the weekend's going to be shaping up nicely to be spending time outside. We right now have plenty of scattered showers that are popping up on satellite radar. They're not all that intense. We're talking a few hundredths of an inch, but enough to kind of wet the ground out there, leave things damp, and leave cloud cover pretty dense to start off the day. But we are expected to see a day that transitions towards sunshine, and then a weekend that really transitions towards sunshine. Saturday at 67 degrees under sunny skies. Sunday at 68 degrees, a little AM fog, and then PM sunshine expected. So here's the rest of the day today. You can see how there are a few showers that are still expected to roll in between now and the afternoon stretch. Afternoon and evening, looks like the majority of the remaining wet weather will be over our local mountains. And if any spot in the county sees that measurable precipitation, in addition to what we've already got forgotten, it will likely be our mountains. Coastline, inland valleys, maybe a sprinkle, a light rain, but nothing really major expected in the forecast. Out the door right now, we're mostly in the 50s, but downtown San Diego is at 61, 55 in Carlsbad, 51 in Ramona, 40 in Julian, and boy, Palomar Mountain and Mount Laguna are both in the mid-30s as we kick off the morning. So not below freezing, but still quite cold as we head through the morning stretch. All of these afternoon highs will start to make their way into the 60s this afternoon. And then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, we're looking at all of these temperatures transitioning to 70s. So finally, a more notable warm-up will be expected in the forecast. Julian's looking at onshore flow continuing across the mountains and the deserts. Wind is breezy, and we're mainly going to be seeing gusts around 30 miles per hour for the remainder of the day. Let's check in on traffic and how your roads are this morning. So far, it's been a quiet start to the day. As you can see, hey, it's Friday after all. No major crashes this morning and also no major volume as we start off the day. Border wait times are also looking all right. 30-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. We have a 40-minute wait at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. Netta and Chris, back to you.
Not a bad wait time there. Thank you very much, Evan. Coming up here, a deadline to come up with a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. Why the U.S. may soon just give up.
Plus, terror and disbelief after the son of a sheriff's deputy opened fire on a Florida University campus. What we are now learning about the shooter and how you can celebrate Easter for free this weekend.